Okay, 2006 I'm sorry, how's that? Chrysler PT Cruise. Came in here for a complaint of a no crank, and if I crank this thing forward, right now it's cranking, but I want you to pay attention to something up here on the dash. See, I'll wait for that to get focused again, and if I crank it, what's happening there with that neutral safety? So here we have that park reverse neutral drive. When I first got here, and yes, I am done diagnosing this car already, but I just want to show you guys what part of the process, because I think it'll help you out with your diagnostic approach. We're out on the road right now, Matt. So here we are with the neutral safety straight now showing park. Earlier when I first got here, it showed all of the individual indicators all lit up at the same time. So came in here real quick and I said, all right, let me just take a quick look and see what we actually have here as far as the crank. When you would turn the keys slow, it would have no crank condition. So if I went in there and I turned that key in a slow motion like this, there would be no crank whatsoever. Right now there's a crank, but that's again because I've already played around with it a little bit. But I came in here though, I watched all the individual positions there. I saw my ignition switch status changing over to crank, which I'll show you. You can see the start position change down here in the status. All right, let's see. So now we come back in here and we grab a quick little diagram because I had no start. Remember, there was no start condition here. If we came across here and we actually looked, we had power coming out on this fuse 410 amp that went down through our ignition switch, out on this start wire, pink and light blue, comes back in red and dark blue. It says starter relay and PDC. Incorrect. That's not true. That's something that they'll have to, repair in the diagram. It's actually correct in the other part of all data, but not correct on this side. So this is the interactive color diagrams that they have there. They work together with, I believe it's the Bosch diagrams. So came right down here, looked at the PCM. I see C3 pin 38. That's my dark green and orange wire. If I have power, if everything there is good, coming through our ignition switch and all the way back out through the starter relay, I should see 12 volts here when I'm in the crank position. So that's what I started doing. Now, I'll bring this with me out here, and I'm sorry, I'm parked right up against another car as always. But, and I'm sorry if I'm not being very interactive with everybody, but you'll just have to bear with me a little moment here. So I come out here, and this is the one wire that we have that actually goes into our starter relay. Now, I have this test light is hooked up to power, and if we look at our starter relay, that's not the camera messing up on you. That's exactly what it's doing. It's flashing. So why would it be flashing? Right? We don't want any control of our starter relay. And by the way, the starter relay is right here. It sits up on top right above the strut mount. So same exact thing here. If I went into that red and dark blue, let me just get back probed in there if I can. Now you guys might be able to hear it clicking away. Oops, sorry, it says rotate device. But as you can see, we're having a funky control there as well. So where do I go next? Do I start working over here from the TIPM? I already know that my PCM is sitting there trying to control this thing when I'm not even in the crank position. So TIPM was up and out of the way just so we have a little bit more access over there to the PCM. But my next step there would have been looking for what do we need for the PCM in order to ground it. PCM has to have a ground. Yeah, PT Cruisers over here get fixed quite often. So if I come back out and let me go into vehicle again. And again, if anybody's watching this here, you see all data collision on the top. It's not part of your normal. You're not going to have that. You're going to have regular all data. It's part of a testing program that I'm doing with them. So if we go into diagrams here, and we'll go into our electrical OE, computers and control systems, wiring diagram index, and I believe it was number 15 or 16. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's 15. So let me come back out again and go straight down to our powertrain diagrams, and I want to say it was 15. Go into 8W3015, and we have two grounds that are there from the PCM directly that come in on connector 1, pins 9 and 18. That's black and brown, black and dark green wire. This one right here is going to be the black and brown. We're probed in there, and I'm not going to do it again right now just to show you guys because this is what I had. But my green trace, come on, focus. There we go. My green trace was my ECM ground. My yellow trace is the one that's hooked into that starter control. If you look, our PCM ground was raising up. It actually started off at about a volt. So without doing any cursors here, shows maximum voltage over there 1.12. That's not correct, but if I put a cursor in there, let's show the cursors back, and we'll just look at cursor number 2, and the green wire was at 2 volts. And at times during the cranking, let's see if I can get a spot there where it was at its highest. I'm no badass, just fix cars. So there are 3 volts on there, but obviously it went up higher than that. So if we judge it ourselves and we actually look from, let's say, this area right here, we can see our greens that come across, follow that line over there. So we were up near our battery voltage. Now those grounds, let's see, did I save that up here? Yes, I did. So picture of the grounds right where the engine compartment, G104 is the one that we just showed there on that diagram. That G104 resides back here. Oop. Come on with the rotate device thing. Let's see if I can get you guys on that. You guys see that okay? That's our ground down there. But look at the bolt as well. And I should have brought a light over here with me, but I did not. But if you look at that mount bolt, you'll see that it's backed out. Someone has actually done the mounting prior, and when they first had the mount go bad, there's damaged ground wires down there that they soldered and heat shrunk. They did that part right, but they never actually stopped it from rocking back and forth. So down here, those wires, let's see if I pull them up a little bit higher. Nope, not with that a really good light and maybe even a borescope. But wires that are down there, though, you could actually see some green seeping out from in between the heat shrink. They didn't heat shrink it properly. But anyhow, that's a reason for a no crank on this car. Originally, one of the things I noticed too, they ran a yellow wire down there. That yellow wire goes down to the O2 sensor. Apparently they had no ground to the O2 sensor. So they were that close to fixing it the first time when they had the O2 sensor issue. But I guess the person didn't want to invest a lot of money in it. Hopefully this ECM will live through this repair. But the first thing they got to do, though, is they're going to try to pull out the inner fender well and go in there and repair the actual grounds. If that doesn't work, it's okay. Well, you don't want to be on camera? Hey. So if that doesn't work, then they're going to end up having to, pull out that mount and then do the grounds over there. So anyhow, that's all. I just wanted to show you guys. What, a PT Cruiser owner that doesn't want to spend a lot of money? Come on now. I have guys that sell $2,500 tickets on these things all day because they're actually still a car that are comfortable for people. Some guys like, some of the taller people, I don't know if you ever noticed about a PT Cruiser, but you got leg room in these things. Oh yeah, by the way, don't tell Rocco about the scan tool, okay? But anyhow, you got leg room in this thing there. It has a little bit of trunk space in the back. I mean, are they ugly as sin? Yeah, of course, but some people like what they like. It's all about where the cup holder is. Because if I showed you my Subaru, that's the worst thing in the world. I hate where my cup holder is. It blocks the radio and it blocks everything else in my way. Can't see the radio, and they put my nice hot coffee right in front of the AC vents. So anyhow, all right, I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'll talk to you all soon. What Autel? Never heard of an Autel. What is that thing? I have no idea. All right, guys. Have a good one.